Imagine being 16 and realizing someone didn't just hurt you. They wanted an audience. Not later. Not after they got caught. They recorded it. A real-life crime treated like a horror film. Except the victim was real, the fear was real, and the behind-the-scenes footage existed. If you're seeing this story everywhere right now, it's because a new true crime docuseries just released, and it's pulling this case back into the spotlight. But tonight, we're not doing sensationalism. We're doing the real sequence, the parts that are documented, and the psychological horror that makes people feel sick even hearing about it. The year is 2006. The place is Pocatello, Idaho. A teenager named Cassie Jo Stoddart is house-sitting at a family home. Something painfully normal. And that's the first layer of dread. Nothing about the day screams danger. No dark alley, no warning sirens. Just a regular house with regular walls. And a front door that still locks the same way it always did. Two classmates, Brian Draper and Tori Autumnchick, would later be identified as the perpetrators. What makes this case uniquely disturbing is not just the crime, it's the performance. Investigators later described evidence that the pair filmed themselves and talked about what they wanted to become violent characters, remembered and feared. The horror isn't supernatural. It's human. The idea that someone can turn empathy off and treat a real person like a prop. On September 22, 2006, Cassie was attacked and killed in that house. I'm not going into graphic detail because we're not here to turn tragedy into spectacle. But the key point for understanding the psychological terror is this. This wasn't chaos. It wasn't something that happened. It was a crime investigators say was consciously framed like a story with a victim, a scene, and later, a record. Early on, like many cases, investigators had to work from fragments. Timelines, who was last there, who knew what. And then the case takes its most chilling turn because evidence emerges that the perpetrators had documented their mindset and intentions on video. And that video became part of what unraveled everything. It's a nightmare detail. Most killers try to erase their tracks. Here, the track was part of the fantasy. The legal aftermath is as stark as it gets. Both were convicted of first-degree murder in 2007 and received life in prison without parole. That sentence matters because it marks the moment the movie ends and real time begins. Decades, steel doors, and a life defined by what they chose to do at 16. This is where the story becomes bigger than one case. Because the fear isn't only someone did something terrible. The fear is they wanted the attention. They wanted notoriety. They wanted the myth. Important note, this isn't a movies make people violent story. Millions watch horror and never hurt anyone. This is a story about a specific mindset where violence becomes a shortcut to identity and the victim becomes invisible. And that's why the videotape detail hits so hard. It's the sound of empathy being replaced by performance. If you take one thing from this, remember the victim as a person, not a plot point. This case is resurfacing today because streaming media reopened it. But the real story isn't about cool villains. It's about what happens when people chase a legend and destroy a life to get it. If you want more real historical horror, black ops, containment breaches, disappearances, disasters, subscribe. Next time, a true event that sounds impossible until the documents prove it.